three, swag! Woo! Pants gotta be over the knees. Did you see the uniform code violation? You! Pants below the knee.
Play with my swag, man. Look good, feel good, play good, man.
Yeah. No. If this was live, you gotta wear knee pads.
We ain't live.
I might go live with you.
Don't scare me,
I wasn't talking to you, was I? Why are you wearing a hood, Dunny?
You harassing my man right now.
Dunny? He's the least swag guy you guys got on defense. Now I'm trying to help him out.
Well, you crazy, man. Swag. We ain't got no swag.
Terrible.
You like that? Yeah, there it is.
You like that?
Hey yo, what is up everybody? It's B Militant. Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host here on the Redskins review, and you guys, we just got done watching the second preseason game, the Redskins versus the Jets. Redskins squeak out the win at the very end, 15-13. The Redskins only scored field goals, so we still have issues getting in the end zone. Even though I think Alex Smith looked really good, I think he looked very surgical, I guess you could say, on his one drive that he had, and I'm really happy that we only put him in for one drive. That was enough. That was enough for me. We'll see him next game as well, but that was enough for me. The way that we've had injuries this year, yeah, I saw enough. I saw what I needed to see out of Alex Smith. And also Daron Payne. Daron Payne showed up big. It's really great to see that. Really hoping we see a lot more of that. Hopefully we get to see really what Jonathan Allen and Daron Payne can bring to the table. I thought Ryan Kerrigan had a really good game. He was flying around, always harassing their quarterback. And Preston Smith had a sack as well. So I think our starters did a really good job, but I'm still just not... Every single year we see our defense step up big in the preseason, and I just cannot fall into that trap again to sit here and tell you and try to tell myself that, hey, our defense looks really good, and that's what they're going to be like during the season. This happens way too often where we see our defense just step up in the preseason, and we're sitting here thinking we have the next Seahawk defense for some reason, because that's how they play in the preseason. But I'm not going to get fooled. We got to wait and see. We got a lot more football to play until the regular season. I think a lot of people stood out. There's a lot of people trying to make a roster spot. Cam Sims, he looked really good at the beginning. Then he had the dropped pass, which was intercepted, and then he came back and set up the game-winning field goal, and he had a bunch of crucial clutch catches at the end. Him and Trey Quinn are really fighting, for the roster spot. Obviously, we all probably think Trey Quinn's going to get it. I think Trey Quinn had a solid outing as well, and also in the kick return game, I think he looked pretty good as well. There's just all around a bunch of people stepping up. Tim Settle is still the man, still getting his hand up, blocking, I guess whichever quarterback was in, Sam Darnold or Bridgewater at the time, blocking passes. The man's stopping the run. He's showing up, and I'm happy. I really like the game. We still have the same issue, though, of not getting the ball in the end zone, though. We're still having those red zone struggles, but hey, we won. We moved the football. Our defense, for the most part, stopped them, which we're playing the Jets, and I think the Jets are still a team who's really just, they have an identity crisis. They're trying to figure out what type of football team they are. Don't know what they're doing at quarterback. So in my just opinion, not trying to put the Jets down, but I feel like this is a game that we should have won. I think we should have won it a lot more than it is, but obviously it's a preseason game. There's a lot of things that go into it, but I think we had more opportunities. And also, just kind of like last game, I do have to bring it up, though. The Jets ended up, sticking in the game and coming back. In the entire second half, we played Kevin Hogan, who really didn't look all that great. Also, I will say again, our backup offensive lines really don't do that great of a job protecting Kevin Hogan in his first 2 games here. But also, I still don't think Kevin Hogan's that great either. But we're playing Kevin Hogan the entire second half, and we're playing a team who is playing Teddy Bridgewater, a guy who's already been a starter and had success in the NFL. So, even though we let them stick around, and I'm bringing up some cautions, some things that I'm still cautious about watching the football team. I still think we had a great outing. Our starters did well last game, and that's really what matters. But you do have to wonder about some of the depth on the football team when these teams are, we're stopping their run, but then in the second half when we're bringing in some of our, some of the guys who we've had around who can't stop the run and things like that, and these teams are realizing, hey, we can have some success running the football in the second half versus some of our depth. It's just something we have to put our put on our notepad there. Trying to think of what else. I really like Alex Smith. He looked on point on his one drive. Now, I'm going to say something that might piss some people off, and I didn't really pay attention to it right when it happened. And it's really not even just like an excuse or anything, but the touchdown pass where Trey Quinn dropped it, if you want to be a little bit critical, Trey Quinn should catch that ball all day long, but it was a little bit tad behind him. All right, he didn't lead him as well as he should have led him, but hey, I think I'm stoked about Alex Smith. He looked great, but I'm just saying this is the type of stuff that people would have been talking about if that was Kirk Cousins who threw that football. All right, so I'm gonna be a little bit critical as well. I'm still stoked about Alex Smith. Thought he had a great game. Can't wait to see him next game. He's so fast at his reads. He looks calm. He always knows what to do. He took that one shot at the beginning of the game, got right back up. Everything I saw out of Alex Smith, I'm loving it. And also Jerron Payne, you guys know I'd throw a little jab at him. I'm not really I think sometimes people take me too serious or whatever, but I want Jerron Payne to succeed, and what I saw of him tonight was just not phenomenal, but he's on his way, and I'm really happy about it. We need this defensive line to step up and be the strength of our football team if we really want to go somewhere and do something. Didn't really get to see much of Paul Richardson. I don't know if he even had a catch. Josh Doxson had a catch. I'm pretty sure it was a first down catch. So that's more good news. That's what I'm saying. There's not a whole lot of letdown in this football game. We did have the interception with Sims, who should have caught the ball, but I like what I've seen. Most of what I've seen out of Sims, you can tell he just has raw talent, and he wants to make big plays. Sure, you gotta catch that football, and definitely don't let somebody else catch it if you don't catch it. Troy Apke with the interception. I believe it was DeSazier Everett who tipped the ball up in the air, and Troy Apke, phenomenal catch. Fingertip rolling through the air catch. Now it's fourth down anyway. You could just smack the ball on the ground, and we would have had the ball anyway. But I mean, that was a phenomenal catch. I think most of us really enjoy some of our draft picks this year, and Trey Quinn and Troy Apke, these guys are stepping up, and I like what I see out of them most of the time. It's only preseason, but I just don't have much to dwell on that's negative. Now we did come back and win the game on a field goal, and we only got field goals, so we don't want to pat ourselves on the back way too much. But that's normally the Redskins, quote unquote, the old Redskins or whatever. We would have let the team come back with under 2 minutes and kick that field goal. That would have been us. All right. So it's a breath of fresh air to sit here and see us move the ball down the field and kick the game-winning field goal. And yeah, Capri Bibbs. I really like Capri Bibbs. We have to be worried about Pirine, man. They said it looked like he did sprain his ankle. All right, and that's what they're saying is it's an ankle sprain as of right now. That's what they're saying. It's an ankle sprain. Watching the replay, to me it looks like an ankle sprain. All right, so hopefully we have backs. I like Capri Bibbs a lot, especially when you get him out into space with the football. He's very reminiscent of Chris Thompson. On the outside, he's fast and shifty, and he just knows what to do with the football when you get it to him. All right, so I like Capri Bibbs a lot. Keith Marshall was okay. Almost had the fumble. I at first thought it was a fumble until they did show us the replay. Trey Quinn on the kickoff returns, I liked what he did, and also he played it smart the one time where he let the ball go over his head. I think Trey Quinn is a really smart player. I think he's Jay Gruden's guy. I think, on the play where he was supposed to catch the touchdown from Alex Smith, I think literally Jay Gruden said, hey, I want this to be a Trey Quinn play. Put him out there, and if you have a look on him, give him the football. I think Jay Gruden wants to see what Trey Quinn can do. I think he believes in Trey Quinn, and I think that's kind of just his guy. And so far, he hasn't been disappointing, really. I think he has some room to grow, and some things he's got to learn. But I think he's turning out pretty good. But I just want to see some more starters. I just can't wait to see a real game. That way we know exactly who's on the football field, and we know who's who and who did what. It's a lot harder during the preseason. I want to see Dunbar. Like, it was Dunbar even out there. I just really wasn't paying attention enough. There's guys I want to see. Fabian Moreau. I have a note on him. I guess we'll get into the notes here in a second. I don't want to make this video way too long, or it's a preseason game. We didn't have injuries really. Hopefully, we don't wake up tomorrow and there's some bad news about injuries that we didn't know now. Also, I guess before I get into the notes, I just want to say. The whole Terrell Pryor thing was hilarious. DJ Swearinger is the man. And also, sometimes I wonder what happens to Redskins players when they go elsewhere, and have they had success, or what are they doing? Like Spencer Long is on the Jets, I believe, and stuff like that. So sometimes I like to look this up and see how other Redskins are doing now that they left or whatever. And I was researching Sua Cravens yesterday. And apparently he hasn't even really been practicing, and he hasn't played in any preseason games yet for the Denver Broncos because he's got a knee injury, leg injury, something like that. And he hasn't done shit yet. And what they're saying is the timetable for him to return is us versus us next week. And I'm just sitting here looking at the whole DJ Swearinger punking the shit out of Terrell Pryor. I can't wait to see what they do to Sua Cravens, dude. They might not do anything. I don't know. But if they did that to Terrell Pryor, I don't know. Let's see what happens. Does Sua Cravens play? Is he going to be there? Are they going to have some words with him? I don't know. But that's something to think about. That's something to keep an eye out for. Just a little bit of drama. But hey, I've seen some stuff on Facebook where people were like, "Oh, that." DJ Swearinger punking, Terrell Pryor makes us look like a bunch of punks, and, it looks bad on us or this or that. I'm tired of having these preacher boys on our football team, all right? I'll take DJ Swearinger all day long. We need somebody like that. We've had a couple guys like that in the past. I think AJ Francis, I believe it's been a while. If I mess his name up, it's been a while. But I think he kind of ran his mouth some. We had some of these guys, these chippy guys in the past, but DJ Swearinger is the best that there is really in the game right now at doing it, and I'm loving every minute of it. I'm loving every minute of it. So let's get into the notes really fast so we can get out of here. The game starts off, and there's a great play to Vernon Davis. This is the Alex Smith drive. Great play from Smith to Doxson on a 3rd down and 8. So it's good to see Josh Doxson catching the football and doing something productive. Hopefully we see more of it. Rob Kelly with the 5-yard run, and he brings us down to the 5-yard line. Excuse me. Trey Quinn doesn't come up with a touchdown pass, but Alex Smith looked surgical on the first drive. Ball might have been a bit behind where he wanted it to be. Either way, I'm more of a that's close enough. Trey Quinn needs to muscle that ball out of the air and rip it down for a touchdown. That's my take on it, but I saw some other people point out online that the ball was a little bit behind him, and I kind of might have to agree with that. Andre Roberts got lit up by Martrell Spate. Another thing during this game and that was on a kickoff. Another thing that I was thinking about during this game is just how crucial has Martrell Spate been for this football team depth-wise. When we drafted Martrell Spate, I thought he was going to have more of an impact on this football team than he has. But man, he is just a second-team special teamer king. Like, this dude shows up. This guy holds our depth in check. Like, this guy helps us so much if you really think about it. Martrell Spate's name is being called all the time, and we have other guys who aren't that. So there's just one thing that I was thinking about during this game is just how crucial having Martrell Spate really is for our depth. Ryan Kerrigan gets after Sam Darnold and he throws it away. Ryan Kerrigan looked pretty good in my opinion. Deron Payne sacks Darnold, and I love it. That's what everyone wants to see out of a first-round pick. Alex Smith is done for the night, which I'm okay with. P. Ryan with a big hole to run through. He runs for a 30-yard play, but then he limps off the field, as we all know. We already talked about it. He has a sprain. Hopkins kicks the ball out of bounds. I mean, come on, dude. I like Hopkins, and he's definitely good enough to be our kicker, but he just lacks accuracy at times. He's got the big leg. He can kick a 60-yard field goal, but it's just sometimes he just lacks accuracy and just is janky at times. Fabian Moreau gives this wide receiver a 5-yard cushion to the outside for an easy catch, and this is just a preseason, and I'm not really gonna harp on him for anything like this. The only reason I'm bringing it up is just so it's documented. So if this is a reoccurring thing, we need to make sure we know about it. But I didn't like what I saw out of that play. Fabian Moreau looked out of place. Looked like he didn't know what he was supposed to be doing. This dude's just wide open, standing on the sideline. Allen and Kerrigan blow up a run in the red zone. That was a really good play. Preston Smith gets Darnold in a coverage sack. But of course, obviously, we'll take it. We'll take any sacks we can get. Keith Marshall fumbles a kickoff, but he really didn't fumble it, whatever. Keith Marshall went down and seemed to be injured. I don't know if he came back. Excuse me. Trey Quinn comes up with a big catch on 3rd and long. Jerron Christian with a false start. It's not good when we are so high on Jerron Christian and, but the most of everything I've been hearing and seeing of him so far, last game he gave up a sack. This game he's got a false start. Maybe he's doing better than I think, but it's just whenever we are hearing his name, it's just for not good reasons. Capri Bibbs is great out of the backfield and has a great catch and run. Oh, he has a great catch and run on the one play. Sims drops a 30-yard pass and it's intercepted. When our starting defense comes out, we cannot stop the run worth a damn. Settle and Spate blow up a run on 2nd and 1. Tim Settle gets his hands up and knocks the pass down. What a beast. Sims has a great catch in traffic, and Colt was hit high and hard, and the defender should have been ejected with that new rule. The whole new rule with leading with your helmet and this or that, and he did this versus a quarterback, and that apparently is a one-time offense that which you could be ejected, and I don't know how it would be more blatant I'm not for these new rules. I don't care about these new rules, but what I'm saying is with these new rules that they are trying to enforce, I don't see how that wasn't the worst it could get. It's just knocked Like, that was blatant, and that dude should be waking up to a fine or something. Gruden waits an oddly long time to call a timeout when there's 30 seconds left in the first half. I don't know what was going on, if he just was trying to play the time and, you know, try to run a timeout. I don't know what's going on, but that's noteworthy because we all know Gruden has lacked time management at times. Cam Sims is making up for the drop earlier, but the play comes back for a penalty. Sims shows some raw talent. Good play action pass to Trey Quinn. Pete Robertson had a really good pass rush and almost gets to Bridgewater and almost, you know, caused a fumble there. Trey Quinn has a good punt return. Jets players keep leading with their helmets blatantly, and most of the time they got called for it. Montez Carter bounced the ball to the outside for a 33-yard play the very next play after he got hit with the helmet. Redskins aren't getting in the end zone. Kevin Hogan isn't that good, but our backup offensive lines are really not looking that great either. Teddy Bridgewater is intercepted by a guy who I don't even remember his name. Greg Stroman with a great tackle on the outside on the toss running play. Jets get a 15-yard penalty when Smithson is almost laying on the football on the ground, like tackling this receiver's ankles, and they call him leading with his helmet. But like, I just don't get it. Like, this dude, he's wrapping his ankles up, and he's like almost laying on the football field, and they called a 15-yard penalty, which helped them go down the field and almost, you know, beat us. When I just don't get that call. Like, I understand technically, yes, he led with his helmet, but he dove at this man's feet and wrapped his ankles up. Like, I don't get that call. Jets take the lead 13-12 with just under 2 minutes left. Let's see if we can go down and get a field goal for the win. Jay Gruden is super pissed off at Kevin Hogan for not getting our guys ready when the clock is running out. I'm sure you guys noticed that as well. Cam Sims makes the catch that gets us the field goal, gets us into field goal range. Hopkins makes the game-winning 40-yard field goal. Redskins have issues getting into the red zone still. I wrote that down as my last point. I just want to reiterate that. One last thing before we get out of here. Going back and thinking about the whole Darius Geis injury, you know, to put a little spin, like a positive spin on this injury, if Darius Geis is going to tear his ACL, this was the best time he was going to do it. He's going to have the most time to recover. You know, he's still going to be surrounded by a team. Like, if he's going to tear his ACL and it's going to take him a long time to come back, at least to happen now and not at the end of the season to the point where he's not going to make it back in time next year for a training camp or whatever. That's another thing I try to think of, putting its positive spin on the negative situation. So that's all I got for you guys. Let me know what you guys think about the game. I know it seemed like the score was more uneventful than the other game that we played versus the Patriots, but I just was more excited for this game because we actually got to see a lot more starters. Alex Smith looks great. Can't wait to see him on the football field again. And things are looking good so far, injury-wise. So I feel like it was a successful game. Feel like we got a bunch of stuff on tape. Did what we're supposed to do in a preseason game. And yeah, I'm going to end the video here. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys on the next one. Peace. Hail to the Redskins. Peace.